Hello everyone, welcome back. It's me again. As I was just on here a little bit ago, now I'm going to do my top 10 grass type Pokemon. As you know, grass Pokemon, I think overall is my favorite type. There's just something about it. I just like my grass type Pokemon. I think they're easy to raise. I like their move sets. And then most of the grass stars are pretty cool, except for Torterra. Kind of a disappointment. But, especially since, Venusaur was my very first starter. And that's one reason that grass type Pokemon are my favorite. So, I'm going to give you my top 10 grass Pokemon. And once again, this was kind of a tough list. I think, especially when I got near the bottom, I think the first 5 were actually easy. But doing the second 5 took me some time and took me some thinking. And I think this number 10 is probably going to surprise a lot of people. But here we go. My number 10 is Marcactus. Now, I actually like this weird-looking cactus Pokemon. I know it looks kind of dumb. But I thought it was pretty impressive. I thought it was a lot stronger than even I was going to give it credit for. Moveset. Most grass type movesets are about the same. There's not a whole lot of diversity there. So movesets for grass Pokemon, like I said, they're pretty much all the same. So it's not really going to come into how they place on this list. But I think Marcactus was a lot stronger, especially I think attack-wise, than what I was originally expecting. And it does look kind of dumb. I mean, it's this weird shaped cactus thing. Yeah. But I actually like Marcactus. Like I said, I would raise one again, and I might here after a while. I used one, I think, once or twice. And like I said, it's a little stronger than what I was expecting. I actually kind of enjoyed watching it, especially when you send it out, and it kind of has this weird little funky dance to it. I actually kind of like Marcactus. It was somewhat enjoyable to raise. Number 9 is Carnivine. This thing was freaking awesome. I love the whole Venus flytrap concept for a grass type Pokemon. I thought that was very awesome. I think it has levitate thrown ability in most cases. It might be part dark. I'm gonna have to double check on that. Which there's a lot of grass dart type Pokemon. I actually don't like that combination. I don't know. It's just a weird. I think it gives grass Pokemon too many special attacks. I think by combining it with dart type, I think for me, and that's why I don't like that. But anyway, back to Carnivine. Carnivine is pretty cool looking. And I think its attack stat was pretty dang high. Especially if you use like Bite and Grass Knot and stuff like that. I've only used this Pokemon a couple times. I think I used it on my grass team. And I used it in Platinum for a while, which I don't like playing Platinum or Diamond or Pearl. I'm sorry. Those fortunes are just very difficult for me, and they're confusing, and I don't really enjoy them. But Carnivine was a pretty fun Pokemon to raise up. Number 8 is Executor. Now this dual type I actually liked. I liked the grass psychic typing. I thought it was pretty interesting. And I know Executor once again it looks stupid. It's got 3 coconuts for a head and yada yada. But defensively with this thing, especially if you teach it like Barrier or Light Screen, this Pokemon can stand tall against a lot of stuff. I like using like Executor. You can teach it Egg Bomb, Bullet Seed, Pin Missile, Psychic, Psy Shock, Psy Wave, Psy Beam, Stomp. Pretty decent moveset for a grass type Pokemon. And like I said, I think defensively, I think it's one of your best grass defensive walls you're going to find. Just a lot of fun to use. And I think, like I said, once again, it's a Pokemon that does a weird dance when you just send it out, which I think makes me laugh, and I think that's one reason I like to watch it, because it is kind of dumb and goofy. But it's fun. Number 7. Now, this one was a huge surprise. I raised this one, I think it was the very first time I played Gold. I wanted a grass type to go with my team, and this was the first thing I taught. So I said, screw it. I'm going to evolve it and see what I can get. We'll see what it can do. Number 7 is Junepluff. I love this little thing. Okay, it's a round blue plant with 3 cotton balls attached to it. but it's so fun and it's adorable. It's adorable. I almost put this Pokemon on my top 10 cutest list, but it didn't quite make it. But it is fun to use. I can learn some flying moves along with some grass moves. I can learn Taunt and Guard, Safe Guard, or some status moves. But I was very surprised. And not only was the speed of this thing pretty impressive, but its attack power was also surprisingly effective. Like I said, considering it's a small little, looks like a freaking some kind of a weird balloon. But this thing killed a lot of my opponent's teams in my first version of Gold, and it really came through more for me in the Elite Four. So once again, a surprising Pokemon, but I actually enjoyed raising it, and I thought that it was a lot stronger than, like I said originally. You know, I taught this little pink thing with 2 green feathers for her head, and I was like, oh boy, this thing's gonna suck. But I actually fell in love with my June Pluff. I would definitely raise one again. A lot of fun, especially, as I said, now I think you can learn aerobatics. I think you can learn air slash now, so that makes it a little bit better. Number 6. This is probably the only grass dark type that I actually enjoy playing with. Is Cacturn. I like Cacturn. I actually just finished raising one not too long ago. Its moveset pretty diverse, I can say. You know, it can learn some ground moves, some normal moves, some dark moves, and of course your grass type moves. I like Cacturn's overall design. I liked how they tried to go with the whole scarecrow thing there. And it was pretty fun. Like I said, Cacturn is very impressive. I think its stats are probably about even. The stat-wise, there's nothing really spectacular that really stands out about it. I think it's probably about average, but the same as most of your other grass-type Pokemon. It's not super strong, but it's not super weak either. But like I said, I think the main reason this Pokemon made this list is the overall design of it. I love the whole scarecrow aspect of it. I think that was a good choice by Game Freak to go with the scarecrow route. Number 5. Now, once again, this one was a little bit tough to put on this list. I haven't used this Pokemon in quite a while. I think the last time I used one was in Pokemon Red, at least fully. But I'm putting Victory Bell in my top 5 for a couple of reasons. One, once again, I actually like this Pokemon. It was a little bit stronger than what I thought. I think if you give this Pokemon the right moveset, it can be very useful. And you might even be able to use it competitively if you can give it the right type of moves to help balance out your team. But another reason I'm putting this Pokemon on my list, I love James's Victory Bell in the anime. That thing was freaking hilarious. Every time James sent it out, we try and eat James. I freaking loved that. It made me laugh because James is such an idiot. And he loves all these Pokemon that don't love him. I freaking think that's freaking funny. So yeah, that, and plus like I said, actually I found Victory Bell pretty useful. Considering now, especially the grass Pokemon, they've kind of lost their luster, I guess. The past few grass stars haven't really been impressive, and overall in gameplay, they're kind of ineffective. So I'm hoping that Game Freak kind of changes that a little bit. But I still like my grass types. Number 4 is Ferrothorn. Actually, when it comes to this Pokemon, the main reason I put this thing on here, I actually liked its first evolution better than its final form. I think Pharaoh's Seed was a little bit more useful because I think when it evolves into Ferrothorn, it loses that poison, what's that ability it has? That Iron Barb ability or whatever it is. I think when it evolves, it loses that. And this Pokemon being a grass steel type, it's a double weakness to fire, which is kind of stinky. But I think overall, though, with the combination of the grass and the steel move typing that it can learn, I think it can be a pretty useful Pokemon, especially if you take the thing up against a fairy type. It'll decimate it. I think the design is pretty interesting. It kind of looks like it's kind of walking upside down, which I think is kind of fun. But yeah, I think the main reason this Pokemon's on this list is just because of the move diversity. And especially now, like I said, with the fairy typing, this Pokemon can be very devastating to anyone running a fairy type. So, that's why I had to put Ferrothorn on this list. I probably should have put it lower than number 4, but I think I put it at number 4 because it can beat fairies. And the design is pretty cool. I think that for those reasons I had to put Ferrothorn that high up on this list. What's having a weapon against fairy types is very useful nowadays. Number 3 is Meganium. I like Meganium. The main reason this Pokemon's on this list is not even because of the final form. It's because of Chikorita. I think Chikorita is the cutest starter that there is. And I know a lot of people hate on Chikorita. I don't know why. A lot of people hate on this evolution line. I actually enjoy it. I think out of all the grass starters, I think it would probably be the third best, right behind Bulbasaur and Torito. I think next would be the Chikorita line. Just overall, I just think it's a better grass typing than Superior or Terra. Or even Chespin was not a very good line. So, Meganium, with its healing moves they can learn, plus its status moves, I think you can learn Body Slam, which is a good physical attack, Petal Dance, Petal Blizzard, or Solar Beam. I think Meganium, if you give it the right move set, with its, it is kind of bulky. You know, it's almost a grass dinosaur thing. So it's got some power behind it. I think Meganium is way underrated. That whole line, I think, is totally underrated. I think people need to use them more and maybe give them a different chance. And maybe if you get more on the right ability, you know, or right nature, maybe that'll help you kind of like Meganium a little bit better. But once again, I think that's underrated. I like Meganium. Once again, first starter I used when I played Gold, and then after I used Chikorita, I went to Totodile. But I really like Meganium and that whole line, and I do think people need to give them more opportunities and use them more in battling. Alright, and these first 3 are all stars. And they're actually in the order that I just mentioned. I just now realized that. Number 2 is Sceptile. Now, it took me a long time to come around to even raise this Pokemon. I seen this thing in the anime. I thought its overall design is kind of lacking, especially the final form. I don't know what the hell is up with those yellow orbs going down its back. It's almost like it's carrying an egg sack or some weird thing. So yeah, design-wise, I usually don't focus on design when it comes to raising Pokemon, but if I do, it's more with my starters. And I thought Sceptile's final form, I just don't like the design of it. For me, it's just a stupid form. I know they're kind of going with the grassy deco type thing, but I just don't like the evolution. As far as usefulness, though, that's the reason I had to put this thing at number 2, because it does have a very good move set. Its speed stat is freaking insane, and I love fast Pokemon because it really helps you get an extra hit or two in battle. And of course, you can learn Leaf Blade, Leaf Tornado, Giga Drain, stuff like that. So I think with the moveset and the speed stat, I think are what pushed this thing up to number 2, just ahead of Meganium. Like I said, I think design-wise, I don't like it, but it is pretty useful, especially now with the Mega Form. It's a pretty powerful Pokemon, so I'll try to put him in number 2. And once again, number 1 is Venusaur, mainly for nostalgia reasons. When I played Blue for the first time, Bulbasaur was my first starter, and he's been my buddy ever since. I love my little Bulbasaur. I love my Venusaur. If Pokemon were real, I would probably have my Venusaur go around with me everywhere, because that's my first Pokemon. Of course, now with the Mega Form, it's even better. It's a lot stronger than it used to be. I think they've changed his moveset up a little bit, give him some more physical power to match his special attack power. So, Venusaur overall, definitely the best grass starter, in my opinion. I actually love that entire line. And actually, thinking back on it, it's probably the strongest overall grass-type Pokemon that you're going to find. So yeah, if you're looking for a good, even if you don't like the Venusaur starter line, if you're looking for a good grass-type Pokemon to use Venusaur, because it probably is overall the strongest one that they've made. So that's it for me. Those are my 2 lists for today. I think we will be back on Saturdays to do something. I'm not totally sure yet, but either way, leave us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to. Share this with your friends. And like I said, we might be making some changes to our channel. I might be starting my own channel in January, maybe. But either way, hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.